In the corridors of human conflict, war has forged not just empires, but also peculiar tools born from desperation and radical thinking. These are the curiosities of combat, challenging our understanding of warfare. What happens when military innovation crosses into the bizarre? Prepare to witness the astonishing and unexpected. The relentless pursuit of victory has led strategists to dream beyond the conventional, sometimes with comically impractical results. Even in failure, these bizarre weapons reveal the elasticity of human problem-solving under extreme pressure. During World War II, the US conceived Project X-ray, a highly unconventional and ambitious plan that aimed to turn an unlikely creature into a weapon of war. The idea was to weaponize bats with tiny incendiary devices, transforming them into flying fire starters. This concept was born out of a need to find innovative ways to attack enemy infrastructure. Little S. Adams, a dental surgeon with a flair for invention, proposed using bats to infiltrate Japanese cities. His plan was to exploit the flammability of Japanese wooden structures, causing widespread fires and chaos. The Mexican free-tailed bat was chosen for this mission due to its abundance and its ability to carry small loads. These bats were known for their resilience and adaptability, making them ideal candidates for such a daring plan. Each bat was equipped with a tiny napalm bomb, meticulously designed to ignite fires upon release. The vision was that these bats would roost in the eaves and attics of buildings, setting them ablaze. However, the tests were fraught with challenges. In one instance, bats accidentally ignited a fuel tank, underscoring the inherent risks and unpredictability of the project. These incidents highlighted the fine line between innovation and disaster. Despite these setbacks, tests at Dugway Proving Ground showed promise. The bat bombs demonstrated potential to be more effective than conventional bombs, as they could infiltrate and ignite multiple points within a target area. The plan involved capturing millions of bats and deploying them via modified bombers. These bombers were specially designed to release the bats at high altitudes, allowing them to disperse and find roosting spots in enemy cities. However, as the atomic bomb neared completion, the focus of military efforts shifted. The sheer destructive power of the atomic bomb overshadowed the bat bomb project, leading to a re-evaluation of priorities. By 1944, with $2 million already spent, Project X-ray was cancelled. The project was deemed untimely and impractical in the face of the new atomic age. The scientists and military personnel involved were left to reflect on their unusual endeavor. Though never used in combat, Project X-ray remains a fascinating chapter in the annals of military invention. It serves as a testament to the lengths to which nations will go in times of war, exploring even the most unconventional ideas. This project underscores the desperate measures considered during wartime, and the surprising directions that innovation can take. It reminds us that in the quest for victory, no idea is too outlandish to explore. Before D-Day, the Allies used deception to mislead the Germans, deploying a phantom army of inflatable tanks. This ingenious strategy was part of a larger plan known as Operation Fortitude, which aimed to create a convincing illusion of military strength where there was none. The Allies knew that the success of the D-Day invasion depended not just on brute force, but also on the element of surprise and the ability to mislead the enemy. Operation Fortitude aimed to convince the Germans the invasion would occur at Pas de Calais, not Normandy. This was a critical part of the overall deception strategy. The Allies went to great lengths to ensure that the Germans believed this false narrative. They used fake radio transmissions, double agents, and even misleading newspaper articles to reinforce the idea that Pas de Calais was the true target. The choice of Pas de Calais was strategic. It was the closest point in France to Britain, making it a logical choice for an invasion in the eyes of the Germans. Inflatable tanks and vehicles created the illusion of a massive force. These decoys were meticulously crafted to look like real military equipment from a distance. Soldiers would set up these inflatable tanks in strategic locations, ensuring they were visible to German reconnaissance planes. The sight of these tanks would lead the Germans to believe that a large Allied force was amassing in the area, ready to strike. These decoys, crafted from rubberized canvas, looked realistic from a distance. The attention to detail was astonishing. Some of these inflatables even had fake tracks and other features to make them appear more authentic. The Allies understood that the success of their deception depended on the Germans believing what they saw. so they spared no effort in making these decoys as convincing as possible. The 1st U.S. Army Group, led by General Patton, added credibility to the deception. Patton was one of the most respected and feared Allied generals, and his association with the Phantom Army lent it an air of authenticity. The Germans had a high regard for Patton's military prowess, so the idea that he was leading this massive force made the deception even more believable. The Ghost Army, composed of artists and engineers, executed the plan, creating fake airfields and simulating troop movements. These talented individuals used their skills to craft not just inflatable tanks, but also fake aircraft, trucks, and even entire airfields. They would move these decoys around to simulate the movement of troops and equipment, further convincing the Germans that a large force was preparing to invade. The Germans, believing the deception, kept troops away from Normandy, aiding the actual invasion. This misallocation of German forces was crucial to the success of D-Day. By convincing the Germans that the real invasion would happen elsewhere, the Allies were able to land at Normandy with less resistance than they would have faced otherwise. This strategic misdirection saved countless lives, and was a key factor in the success of the operation. The operation exploited enemy expectations, using inflatables to reinforce German beliefs. The Allies understood that the Germans were expecting an invasion and used this to their advantage. By creating a believable but false narrative, they were able to manipulate German expectations and keep them guessing about the true location of the invasion. This psychological manipulation was as important as any physical preparation for the invasion. The Ghost Army's success highlights the power of psychological warfare, where perception becomes as potent as reality. The ability to deceive and mislead the enemy can be just as effective as traditional military tactics. The Ghost Army's efforts demonstrate that wars are not only fought with weapons and soldiers, but also with ideas and illusions. Their work was a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of the Allied forces. These rubber phantoms were sophisticated tools of deception, saving lives by misleading the enemy. The use of inflatable tanks and other decoys was a brilliant example of how unconventional tactics can achieve significant results. By tricking the Germans into believing in a phantom army, the Allies were able to carry out one of the most successful military operations in history. The legacy of the Ghost Army and their inflatable tanks is a reminder of the power of innovation, and the importance of thinking outside the box in times of war. The quest for versatile combat tools led to intriguing weapon designs, like the gun knife. These hybrid weapons were born out of necessity and innovation, aiming to provide soldiers and adventurers with a multifunctional tool that could save their lives in dire situations. The idea was simple yet ambitious. Combine the lethality of a blade with the firepower of a gun, creating a weapon that could be used in close combat and at a distance. The Apache revolver, a 19th century French hybrid, combined a revolver, dagger, and brass knuckles. This weapon was named after the notorious Parisian street gang, Les Apaches, who were known for their brutal and cunning tactics. The revolver was designed to be a compact and concealable weapon, perfect for the urban environment where quick and decisive action was often necessary. It aimed to be the ultimate self-defense tool, but often fell short in practice. The Apache revolver's small caliber and limited range made it less effective than hoped. Additionally, the integration of multiple functions into one weapon often led to compromises in each function's effectiveness. The brass knuckles, while useful in hand-to-hand combat, added bulk and made the weapon harder to handle. The revolver's small caliber lacked stopping power, and its design was inaccurate. The bullets fired from the Apache revolver were often too weak to incapacitate an opponent quickly, and the weapon's short barrel made aiming difficult. These shortcomings highlighted the challenges of creating a truly effective hybrid weapon. The Elgin Cutlass pistol, used by the U.S. Navy, combined a pistol with a Bowie knife but was unwieldy. This weapon was intended to provide sailors with a versatile tool for both boarding actions and close-quarters combat. The Bowie knife blade was formidable, but the addition of a pistol made the weapon cumbersome and difficult to wield effectively in the heat of battle. These hybrid weapons often compromised functionality, with awkward grips and balance issues. The need to accommodate both a blade and a firearm in a single weapon often led to design flaws that made the weapon difficult to use. Soldiers and sailors found that the added weight and bulk of these hybrid weapons could be more of a hindrance than a help in combat situations. Despite challenges, the fascination with combination weapons persisted, driven by a desire for efficiency. inventors continued to experiment with new designs, hoping to create the perfect multifunctional weapon. The allure of having a single tool that could handle multiple combat scenarios was too strong to resist, even in the face of repeated failures. The impracticality stemmed from conflicting requirements of the components. A blade needs to be strong and sharp, while a firearm requires precision engineering and balance. Combining these two elements often resulted in a weapon that was neither a good knife nor a good gun. The conflicting design requirements made it difficult to create a hybrid weapon that excelled in both functions. Modern designs occasionally appear, but specialized tools remain preferred for serious applications. Today's military and law enforcement agencies rely on highly specialized equipment tailored to specific tasks. While the idea of a hybrid weapon is still intriguing, the practical realities of combat and law enforcement make specialized tools more effective and reliable. The story of the gun-knife combo is one of ambitious design meeting practical realities, highlighting the inventor's spirit. These weapons are a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of innovation, even in the face of practical challenges. The gun knife may never have become the ultimate combat tool, but it remains a fascinating chapter in the history of weapon design. Our journey through military history's eccentricities reveals war as a catalyst for ingenuity. From bat-borne firestorms to inflatable armies, these bizarre weapons tell a story of human spirit under pressure. They remind us of the thin line between genius and folly, pushing boundaries of possibility. The bat bomb showcased an attempt to harness nature, while inflatable tanks played a vital role in deception. Even the impractical gun knife speaks to a desire for versatility. These echoes from the past are lessons in adaptation and invention. They are more than curiosities. They are testaments to creativity and survival and conflict. The quest for advantage will always explore the edges of imagination.